Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. We have the new Bloodlust palette here from Jeffree Star Cosmetics and we are going to be playing around with it today. It took a lot of trial and error to get here because there were some mistakes that happened throughout the way. So if you want to see how we got this look today, talk about the formulas in the palette, talk about all of the, everything behind this new launch, make sure to keep on watching. And please don't forget to subscribe because I do upload 3+ times a week. And that's going to be the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So I'm not going to ramble for too much longer. Let's jump right into the palette. All right, so first things first, let's jump into actually trying this palette out. First thing I am going to say, as for packaging, 10 out of 10, this is absolutely stunning. It's very heavily weighted, so it doesn't feel cheap at all. And honestly, tell me this is not a vibe and not a moment. I'm really excited to jump in. The color story is obviously, my vibe. You guys know purples, neutrals leaning cool. This is definitely the type of colors I tend to gravitate towards. So I'm really excited that a whole palette has these purple vibes. Let's just track down my brushes. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do, I have an idea of what I wanna do, but I don't know, we'll see how it turns out. So I'm gonna start with the shade Vile Serpent right here. It's the turquoisey shade, and I'm gonna start right on the inner corner, or inner portion of the eye. So right off the bat, definitely the same Jeffree Star formula. Nice pigmentation. Blends beautifully. Definitely pretty. I mean, as you guys can see, the color definitely pays off. I'm going to keep it a little unblended for now because I am going to go in and shape it out a little bit later. Next, I'm going to jump into Blood Queen right here, which is a nice true purple. And we're going to go right next to the teal. See where those are blending together? A lot of times when you deal with shadows that are not very pigmented, where they blend will go gray. This is not going gray. This is giving me this really pretty, almost navy vibe. So you're definitely getting a nice amount of pigment here. It's also coming out very true to color. Because of the way I'm packing it on, I'm getting a little bit of fallout. So I am going to grab a powder and just set some down on the under eyes. Not the end of the world. I know there's a lot of people who are super any fallout is the end of the world. But honestly, when you're dealing with heavily pigmented shadows, it is so common that I don't even think about it anymore. Just take a little translucent powder. Going back into Vile Serpent, the first shade, I'm just going to blend where those two colors met because I don't want it to go too blue. I definitely want more of that green to come through. All right, on that same brush, I'm going to go into Dungeon, which is a gray purple. And I'm going to take actually quite a bit of that. And I'm just going to use this to deepen up the outer V of the eye. Now for the fun part. On my finger, I'm going to take Executioner, the black duochrome. It has a very strong purple shift. I don't know if you can see on camera the purple and the black, but I'm going to press that on the lid. On camera, that's reading very black, and it's not really reading very duochrome. So I'm going to load up that same shade on a brush. I am going to mist it, and I'm just going to pack it on top and make sure that I really get into that inner corner. Okay, so the purple is almost entirely gone, and all I'm really getting is the black. And I'll end up going in with something on top of the black since I'm not really getting the purple metallic that I had wanted. But it's still going to work out. I am going to grab a powder brush with a little bit more setting powder just to kick off the fallout. Last thing we want is to smear black shadow on the under eye. Back into that first brush, I'm just going to take those first two shades and just blend out the edges into where it meets the black. All right, while I figure out what I want to do to kind of salvage this, because I really expected to have this like really glittery purple, which I'm not getting, I'm going to throw some black liner in my waterline and I'll be right back so we can then tie it all up. All right, I am back and I still don't know what the hell I'm going to do to salvage this. That brush has black in it. Okay, I need to not use dirty brushes. On a clean brush, I'm going to take Blood Queen again, that purple, and I'm just going to connect the lower lash line just to the outer corner. Then I'm going to take High King right here, which is a little bit more of a pink purple, and I'm going to blend that in the very center of the eye. And with a clean blending brush, just going to kind of smudge all of that out. On that same clean brush, I'm going to go into Royal Pain, which is the mauve tone shadow. And I'm just going to kind of smoke out both of those purples. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with Pink Magic right in the center of the palette. And I'm going to take a little bit of that on my finger, and I'm going to just press it over the black shadow. That is really pretty. Going up, I don't know if you guys can see it as well on camera, but going up with the black base is really just helping this shadow to really pop. I really hope that it's doing justice on camera because, like, it's really pretty. On the fluffy brush, I am going to take a little bit more of High King, and I'm just going to kind of buff out a little bit of that purple up top, just because it's going to add a little bit more warmth to the purple, because right now that black is really grunging it up. For the inner corner, I think I'm going to go in with, it's very purpley. I'm going to go in with Take the Crown up here, and if it's not as vibrant as we want, I can always layer a little bit of Wet Jewel on top. I don't think any layering is necessary. I think that's really pretty. That's like a traditional foil shadow formula. I'm not loving the formula on Pink Magic. It's a little bit more glittery flaky, and there's quite a bit of fallout. It just means that I should have thought before doing a purple smoky eye and did my face second, but I mean, it's working. What I am gonna do is just take a tiny bit of Take the Crown, the same shade we did on the inner corner, and I'm just going to add that just under the brow bone. I wish there was a little bit more impact from that Pink Magic shade. I feel like that definition probably would have been better if I cut the crease, but at that point I had already put the black down. So yeah, I'm gonna take a little setting spray just to lock it all down so we don't have any more fallout or flakies from the glitter. I'm gonna go throw on mascara and lashes and a lip, and I'll be right back to see if we need to do anything else to the eye, because you know, once you throw on a lash, things tend to come together a little bit. Okay, so I did figure out how to make that a little bit more vibrant on that pink shade. I didn't like it with my finger, and then when I was using a wet brush to kind of pull it, that didn't work. The best thing to do is I was picking up the shade and I was just patting it down, almost treating it like a glitter, and it looks so much better now than it did before. So when you're using that new formula, so the shades like Wet Jewel, Pink Magic, I believe Sworn Enemy is one of those shades as well, make sure that you are patting, not swiping, not pulling, not rubbing, just pack it on, possibly even use a glitter glue. I mean, I'm not seeing any fallout since I cleaned up my eye or my lower lash, but that purpley pink is still quite vibrant, so I'm really happy with how it turned out. Thoughts on the palette, all in all. So you guys know it retails for $54. I think the packaging is a slam dunk. You guys know I have every single Jeffree Star palette. There's not a single one that I don't own, going all the way back to Beauty Killer and Androgyny. Of the layouts, I will say I don't love the packaging. It's not very travel friendly, but my wedding was purple. Purple's my color. I've got a crown, I've got a queen. Royalty is definitely my vibe. So from a packaging standpoint, I think they knocked it out of the park. And if you're looking to travel with your makeup, I don't think this will be it for you. But if you just like having beautiful makeup in beautiful packaging, I think you'll like this. The shadows performed really well once I kind of figured out what the issue was. They blend beautifully into each other. I'm getting like, even on camera, every time I blink, I see that foiled color on the entire lid just kind of pop, and I am in love with the way that that is pulling. I also really like that pop of that like turquoise shade, because I think that it's grounding the purple so everything's not just purple. Anyway, clearly I love this, so I am definitely gonna be doing more with this in the near future. I want to figure out a way to make Executioner work. That's the only shade I didn't like. I don't typically love when there is a matte formula with a pressed glitter, and on the finger it looked beautiful, and when I first patted on the eye, it looked okay, but the second I started moving it around, it was basically just a matte black shadow. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm gonna try it out and see if that was user error. And if it wasn't, then one shade out of 18 not being perfect is not the end of the world, because you can still use that as a black shadow. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.